Hey guys, how's it going? This is Erusis. I'm bringing you a rogue PvP guide covering all the specs. I will cover assassination, subtlety, and combat, as well as all the talents, and I'll tell you which specs can probably use them best. This guide is for all the beginner rogue players, so let's get started. First of all, we have assassination. Assassination is a spec that wields 2 daggers and relies on poisons as its main damage. Assassination has great sustained and DPS, sustained DPS and burst DPS. Advantage in dots and advantage in long fights overall because of the ticking dots. However, with Vendetta, which is one of its biggest cooldowns that increases your damage against the target, cannot be switched on target. So in arenas you have to find one target and attack it all. Some people say it's boring because you end up using only few abilities to generate combo points. But that is more opinionated, I believe. Still is a factor to include. Next is Subtlety, which has great burst, has Shadow Dance, which allows you to sap, cheap shot, ambush, and garrote without having to be in stealth. So you can run around in Shadow Dance and do all those abilities, but it has really low sustained damage. So that is really Subtlety it. And Subtlety is still the master of shadows, so whenever you get out of shadows, you deal more damage. Combat is the spec that I pick actually. It has great sustain, 8-second stun because of the Revealing Strike and the ability that comes with it. Lots of combo points during burst, CC, resist with killing spree, which is nice, but has really slow ramp up DPS and not as burst. You can't hit with a single strike and hit for 90k, but it still is a viable spec. Now some of the talents. First one, Nightstalker. I don't prefer it for any of the specs. It's fairly useless as it amps up your speed and stealth, that's nice, but damage and stealth, usually cheap shot out of stealth. Now next, Subterfuge allows you to stay in stealth 3 seconds after coming out of stealth, so really all specs can use that to their advantage, whether you cheap shot in an ambush a couple times or whatnot. Shadow Focus, while in stealth, all abilities require no energy, so sapping as many times as you wanna, being able to come out with a cheap shot and still retain all energy works for all specs. Deadly Throw silences an opponent, and the duration depends on how many combo points you use. So it does require combo points and energy. It's a great utility skill for any spec. I would prefer for anybody. So that's something to think about. Nerve Strike. Every time you stun an opponent with a cheap shot or kidney shot, for 6 seconds after doing so, they deal 50% damage. Each spec can honestly use that vitally. It's just a great ability. Combat Readiness, kind of the same thing, except you don't have to stun anybody, it just applies on you, and after about 5 hits you deflect 50% of physical damage, so great against any melee cleaves. And not any spec can use it. Cheat Death, once you drop to an attack that would kill you, you would rather rise to 10% health, and damage reduced by 80 for a good period of time, 3 seconds. You can sometimes come out of that. Leeching Poison. Now a lot of people say combat could use it, but honestly, the healing out of it isn't grand. The only person that would get really good healing in your spec is Assassination. So if you have Assassination and you have ability to grab Leeching Poison, that's something to probably grab. Elusiveness. Every time you faint, 30% of damage is reduced every time you faint. So any spec can use that, and it's a great utility as well. That's something you might add, but if you're not doing much to the buttons, you're gonna grab one of the other ones. Preparation resets Vanish, Sprint, Disarm, and Cloak of Shadows as soon as you use it, but it's on a 5-minute cooldown. Any spec is still fine at usable and utilitable. Shadowstep lets you teleport, or well, I guess just get behind a friendly or a foe, and every spec can use it, no energy cost, just 24-second cooldown. And now another movement one, Burst of Speed. Sorry from our breath. Uses 50 energy to get out of traps, snares and not snares, roots and snares. But again, energy cost, it's not good for assassination rogues as they require to deal damage. Prey on the weak, Subtlety and Combat can use that better as they do more stuns rather than assassination using stuns. So I find those specs have advantage of it. Paralytic Poison, anybody can use that. After 5 stacks, it's a stun, it's not a DR with a cheap shot or a kidney shot. Any spec can use it, and it's vital. Any spec. Dirty Tricks. Assassination and Subtlety can use it better because they have dots, whether they bleeds or poisons. You blind a person, those dots and any other dots on them don't break out the blind, so it's great to, long period of fights. Shuriken Toss, an ability, 20 energy, you throw a shuriken, deals moderate damage, it's more, deals double if it's 10 yards or above, applies poisons as well, so it's pretty great. Versatility, which is a talent that's been removed from patch 5.2, and nonetheless, you can use redirect of combo points whenever you want it, as many times as you want it. Anticipation is a great skill for any spec, but honestly Subtlety has the most advantage to it, as if you open up with Shadow Dance, you build up those combo points, investor it twice for that burst damage. I find it Subtlety is the best pick for that, honestly, out of the other specs. So there you go, guys. There's all 3 specs, and honestly it's up to you how you play. I just gave you the basics and all the talents. This is literally the guideline for you guys to go from there on and make your own spec, choose your own spec, and go on PvP. Rogues are going to be coming back. They are back. I mean, they're doing a lot of damage right now. They're really vital in everywhere they go now. They're still going to get better, those guys. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you liked it. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys in another video, whichever video I make. Later.